Hey guys, welcome back to Red Devil TV. Man United versus Tottenham on Saturday at home. I'll do a preview tomorrow or Friday just before the game, but this is going to be a video about keeping or selling players, where Man United is at the moment. Last couple of days it's been a tough one. I've seen tweets and comments on Instagram, on YouTube, videos about Man United and the players who are just not good enough. I mean, so many players. I had to rewatch the game back because again, when you watch games where you lose or you've drawn and you've had a terrible performance, you tend to forget a lot of the time throughout a game what's happened because you zone out. And against City, I zoned out after the third goal. Players, again, it just confirms me. Players are just not good enough. I don't rate a lot of these players at Man United, and I keep saying it to a lot of people I talk with. I think next season is going to be a tough one. In terms of players who are going to leave this summer, I think there's going to be a lot of players who we could expect to leave. I think Lingard will go. I think Martial coming back will be interesting. We need a striker up front. Whether Ronaldo stays or he goes, we need a striker anyway. Cavani will go in the summer. Look, that Van der Beek situation again, Everton looking sticky in the relegation battle, in my opinion. I think Everton, there's a good chance Everton will go down. And I think Van der Beek coming back to Man United, it depends on the manager's situation. There's a lot of problems at the moment in the defence, in the midfield and the attack, and there's a lot of problems within the manager role as well. I have to question Rangnick within the last couple of weeks. I think against City, I questioned his use of Pogba and Bruno up front. It worked, of course. We scored the goal against Man City when Sancho scored that amazing goal from Pogba's pass. Amazing assist from Pogba there, but I questioned Bruno and Pogba being played up front when they're midfielders and were being exposed in the midfield, you know. We know that Fred loves to press, and when Fred pressed, when you got Pogba and Bruno up front, who are not strikers, and of course I understand Ronaldo was injured, but why just not play a 4-3-3 with Bruno as a false nine, or maybe if you want to play a front two, place Rashford. I know Rashford came on, didn't play well. Personally, for me, I would have just go with a 4-3-3, keep it simple with Bruno as a false nine, a player who's always in a striking position, who's always almost playing as a second striker, even when Ronaldo plays or Cavani plays. He's a player who always gets in the box, who creates but can also score. And I think I have to question Ralph Rangnick's substitutions at times. And like I just pointed out, the formation and the players he's using in that position. So, again, a lot of things to talk about. Ten Hag, Pochettino, players who are just not good enough, players who should go in the summer. Look, for me, Ronaldo, if we're not in Champions League, he should go. And even if we're in Champions League, next season is going to be somewhat the same in terms of, look, we might finish better in the league next season. We might do a bit better in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. But at the same time, we need players in certain positions. I think there's an issue at right back. I think Dalot has been taken out of the team for what? I don't understand. I think that Wan-Bissaka is not good enough. He got bodied by Foden against City. Foden just bodied him in that game. Wan-Bissaka is not good enough going forward. Defensively, he was targeted as well, which was quite surprising. I thought they would target Telles. Telles did get ripped a couple of times in that game as well, but I thought Wan-Bissaka had one of the worst players on the pitch against City. And the midfield, again, McTominay, Fred is not the way to go, but it is the way to go now because we don't have the personnel in midfield. We need a striker, again, like I just said. The winger, look, Rashford at his best should play on the left. Sancho's doing a job on the left, which I'm quite surprised how well he's doing because I fully expected him to play on the right, and I wanted him to play on the right because we need crosses more from the right. Elanga's come in. It's a whole mess because I think that Elanga's such a young player. He's done very well to come in. A lot of times in that game, I felt sorry for Elanga watching it back the second time. The first time I didn't even notice it as much, but Elanga was tracking back a lot. He was, he just wasn't getting any support. And this is the thing with our right back position as well. A lot of the time, Wan-Bissaka will not overlap. And it's not even just that. I mean, it was against City. They dominated possession. The last 15 minutes, they had around 92% possession. But even against other teams, we've seen it this season. The right back will not overlap. And we've had a bunch of problems. When Rashford played on the right, Dalot was playing on the right. There was an overlap from Dalot. There was no pass from Rashford. When Dalot played on the right and Sancho played on the right, there was a better connection there. But when Wan-Bissaka plays on the right, and then you have whoever it is, Elanga on the right, when Wan-Bissaka doesn't overlap, and he's not good at going forward, he's not good on the ball, he's not a good dribbler, in my opinion. He's sloppy on the ball. And it's not just him. Maguire, defensively, terrible. I don't get it. All our defenders were terrible against City. But too many games this season, Maguire's been poor. I don't rate him at all. He's slow, not agile enough. He's not the player we need. And then you look at players like Rashford's been poor. There's been rumours about him wanting to leave in the summer. I don't think he'll go. I think I think he's probably going to stay another couple of seasons. I think he's a player who Man United won't let go. And then you have to look into the midfield again. McTominay, Fred, Matic, again, a player who's... Matic, he barely plays anymore. And I think you do see the difference between Fred and Matic when he's on. But again, someone who only plays 60, 70 minutes. And after 60, 70 minutes, you see a lot of flaws in his game, of course, because he cannot play a full 90 and then he starts to get exposed defensively. And sometimes he's too much on the ball, too much having the ball, and then he gets done out. It's too much problems in one team. Luke Shaw's been poor. Tellers has been okay. I'm going to be honest, this whole season, Tellers and Dalot, who have been players who did not play under Rolly, have been better than Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw, our first team as last season at fullback. So, look, Ronaldo will he play against Tottenham? We'll see. Cavani always injured. There's a problem with Cavani here. There is a big problem here. And with us, having players missing, Greenwood obviously not being here, Ronaldo injured, Cavani apparently still injured, Varane, there's an issue there with Varane as well. And guys, there are players who should go. Pogba's going to go for me. I think Pogba's going to go in the summer. I think Lingard will go. Martial, I think, will be kept at Man United because that striking position is looking sticky. And I don't know if Man United will, spend the money that they need to in the summer. I think Ronaldo will go if we don't have Champions League. I think that there's a good chance Rashford could go if it gets any worse this season, if we get knocked out of the Champions League, if we have a terrible end to the season, if we don't even get Europa. I can see a good 3-4 players going in the summer, and we're already moving thin in certain positions in the team, and I have to question Ranić at the same time. Van der Beek shouldn't have let go. I know that we said constantly Van der Beek should go so he can play, but when you have someone like Lingard who could have gone, who's not played well when he's come on at all. Lingard has been non-existent. And one thing from Lingard we've seen in the past few years, when he does come on, he puts a lot of effort in. He's all over the pitch. We haven't seen him there. We haven't noticed that when he's come on. Sometimes I forget he's even playing when he's been subbed on. There's just too much to think about, and I think you need to take it step by step. I know people don't rate De Gea. Again, the least of the problems right now is De Gea. He is the least important problem right now at the club. So, in my opinion, there's a lot of problems, and it needs to be solved. And we need to take it game by game. There's not many games left. I think there's a good 8 Premier League games left. Of course, we've still got the Champions League. I can't believe how quick this season's gone, and it's terrible. At the same time, I can't wait that we've got international games coming up. Of course, Portugal playing in the playoffs for the World Cup. It's going to be a tough one for me as well to watch. But at the same time, I feel like this season we've played a lot of games, but at the same time we haven't. We've had a lot of breaks. We've had a lot of problems, and it's too much to watch. Sometimes you need a break. And you guys, just let me know what you think about the team at the moment, what you expect to happen against Tottenham. I'll do a preview later on this week, just before match day on Saturday. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.